Breaking news right now. On the second day of the teacher walkout, Governor Ducey strikes a deal for Arizona teachers. The governor joining us live right here on 12 News.
We're going to chat with him in just a second and get the breakdown. But first, here are the details of the deal. It includes a 20% teacher pay increase by 2020, as the governor had asked for. Here are the specifics of the deal that the governor tweeted out just minutes ago. A 20% pay increase for teachers by 2020. A permanent, ongoing, protected in the base formula, $100 million in additional dollars for support staff, increasing to $371 million over 5 years, and finally, no tax increase.
And right now, Governor Ducey joins us right here in studio. We thank you so much for joining us. Walk us through when you last left us in the 11 o'clock hour yesterday, saying that you needed to get to work as soon as possible to strike this deal. Tell us what happened.
Well, we went back to the Capitol. We worked with legislative leaders, reaching out to both sides of the aisle. We also sat down with teachers, and basically it is a negotiation. We wanted to get this 20% pay increase for teachers by 2020. That was the commitment that was out there. But you need to work with leaders on both sides. You need to have 16 votes and 31 votes, and we're confident that we do right now. We've agreed on all the deal points. We're going to work through the weekend and then begin introducing and passing this budget next week.
And you think it'll be Monday?
I think the budget will be introduced Monday. I believe we'll pass it next week. I'm ready to sign it today, but it's like any large deal, and it not only includes the teacher pay increase, this is the entire state budget. This is child safety and public safety and everything that the state will spend going forward.
Governor, what are you hearing from the Red for Ed folks like Joe Thomas on this?
Well, I'm more hearing from the teachers. I mean, I'm here for the 50,000 plus teachers that are in public schools in the state of Arizona. And I'm hearing that teachers want to feel valued. They want to be rewarded. I want to retain them. I want to have more good people go into teaching. So to be able to put this commitment forward of a 20% pay increase over the next several years by 2020 with additional dollars for support staff, counselors, crossing guards, other people that are in the schools, school buses, textbooks. This isn't perfect, but it's significant progress, and I'm proud of our legislature for stepping up and committing to getting this done.
Okay, but the point of contention from the get-go was, where is this money coming from? If you're not going to raise taxes, where's it coming from?
Well, the first thing I want to say is the point of contention from the get-go was that teachers need a pay increase, and I agree with that. They've earned this pay increase, and it's deserved. The dollars are coming from, we've been very fiscally responsible over the last 3 years. We really had to tighten our belt. I came into office in 2015. We had a $1 billion budget deficit. Now our economy is booming. We've also made significant changes inside our state government, so we have available funds, and we've taken other priorities that I talked about in the State of the State and put them aside so that we can deliver on this pay increase in a responsible and sustainable way for our teachers.
But the teachers said, they heard you when you said 20% by 2020, but I think that the reason that they walked out is because they didn't know how this was going to happen. So can you shed light on how you are going to fund this without raising taxes?
Well, one, it's going to be committed in the budget, and we have these dollars available. And you don't have to take it from me. I mean, this is Moody's Analytics. This is the W.P. Carey School at Arizona State, the Eller School at U of A. This is the Finance Advisory Committee and the CBO. We have these additional dollars in our state coffers, and we're committing to these. Once we put these in the base, make them permanent, ongoing, and inflated, these teacher raises will be ongoing. So we have these dollars, we're making the commitment. I think sometimes people think that you have to raise taxes to find new dollars. When you're one of the fastest growing states in the country, when you have an economy that's booming, when you have over 200,000 people that have moved here in the last 3 years, when you have 160,000 new jobs since 2015, it grows your tax base. We're prioritizing these dollars for our teachers and for support staff inside the schools.
But with all due respect, from the beginning, the teachers, honestly, they haven't believed you. Even when
you know, Tram, I had the teachers in my office yesterday. We took them through these projections. We took them through the CBO projections. That's the Congressional Budget Office, which shows Arizona with $1.5 billion additional dollars over the next 5 years. We're committing these to the teachers.
Right, but with the proposal that you made a week or so ago, they still walked out because they didn't believe you, even though you proposed, you know, X, Y, and Z. This is what's going to happen by 2020.
I would challenge that they walked out because they didn't see action yet or a commitment. They saw an idea and a proposal. Now a deal has been struck. We're going to paper that deal in the state budget, and then it's going to be the law.
Okay, so it hasn't been papered yet.
No, that's part of the process is you have to have agreement with legislative leadership before you say this is going to be the budget. We did that about a half an hour before I came here today. So the teachers have been heard. We're going to work through the weekend. The budget will be introduced on Monday, and I will likely pass it sometime next week.
Governor, how disappointed will you be if they don't accept this deal?
Well, if you propose a 20% pay increase and then you deliver on a 20% pay increase and the strike continues, I don't know how that would make sense to parents who are working, how that would make sense to students. I don't think that would make sense to teachers. We've talked to a lot of superintendents. We expect a lot will be announcing that school will be back on Monday. But listen, I respect these teachers. I respect these leaders inside the school. This was put together with their input, and we want to see them have this reward, but we want to get kids back in the classroom. We want to conduct graduations, let the military deployments and missions commence, because we're getting towards the end of the school year.
I'm sure that's music to the ears of a lot of parents who've had to miss work yesterday and today, and I want to pass along to our viewers that we're working on getting a response to your proposal from the Arizona Education Association, so we hope to hear from them within the next few minutes. Can I just go through their list of demands?
Sure.
And you can just tell me how many of these boxes...
Let me give you the full budget of what
Sure.
we did. We raised teacher pay 20% by 2020.
So that checks the first box.
$100 million for support staff. So that's the additional educators inside the school with a commitment for $371 million.
And that checks the second box, competitive pay.
This will increase per pupil spending as well. It's up 10% since 2015. As we crunch the total numbers on this budget, I'll be able to tell you how much more that increased. But those would be the three big themes that we were able to address through this budget. And it's ongoing, and it's sustainable, and it's done without raising taxes. I'd rather have our economy continue to grow so that we can fund our K-12 education system, which is improving, and that's a testament to the quality of our teachers.
Will you be sitting down with Joe Thomas?
I'm going to be sitting down with teachers and superintendents and people that actually make the budget happen. Those are the people that I work with.
I mean, we talked about Joe Thomas yesterday, and I get the feeling, and I'm not trying to be combative. Are you in an adversarial relationship with Thomas?
No, I'm not in an adversarial relationship, but I'm here to serve the teachers. I'm not here to serve the union organizers.
Because he has said before that you haven't responded back to his phone calls, his emails, any attempts to sit down face-to-face with him.
I'm working with teachers, I'm working with principals and superintendents, and I'm working with the legislators that now can pass this into law so I can sign it into a 3-year budget that makes this commitment in law to our teachers.
But aren't you worried that since he is the union head, that if you don't get with him and make him happy, that this walkout will continue?
I don't think I need to make union organizers happy. I want to make our teachers happy. I want to make our parents happy. I want to make our citizens happy.
But to a certain extent, don't they answer to him?
No, well, you'd have to ask teachers who they answer to.
I think 75,000 of them wearing red yesterday.
Well, those are teachers from across the state that want the legislature and the governor to hear them, and we've heard them.
Do you feel like this is a baby step? In other words, Arizona still has a long way to go, but this is a big step for us in terms of restoring funding and getting teachers the pay they deserve.
I believe this is more than a baby step. I think this is a large step in the right direction. This is a step in addition to Proposition 123. This is a step in addition to the extension of Proposition 301. Now we're going to be able to say a 20% pay increase in the budget, permanent, ongoing, and inflated for our teachers, hundreds of millions of dollars for support staff, and our students are improving. Our students students are doing well inside our schools. Our economy's growing. I think we're not perfect, but we're making real, measurable signs of progress.
And you understand that these questions aren't trying on what is a good day for you and a good day for the legislature, and I would hope a good day for Arizona. It's not trying to deflate what is a good day for you, but it's asking, you know, is this a deal on your side, but not a deal on their side?
Well, it's a very fair question. And when I sat down with teachers yesterday on the 8th floor at the Executive Tower, they had all these same questions. We spent about well over an hour. It might have been 90 minutes together. I heard everyone out, what was on their mind. I was able to address almost everything with what we're doing in this plan. And I said, we're going to deliver on this. And I know there's more work to do after this. But I think this addresses the real issue of the day. And it also tells our teachers that I value them and we value them in the state of Arizona.
So as of yesterday, as you clearly know, the legislators, they went home for the day. And a lot of people felt that that was basically a slap in the face to all the teachers, all the students, what have you, to try to work out a deal.
And to you.
Well,
exactly.
This is a Republican legislature, and you are a Republican governor, and I feel that they walked out on you.
Well, they didn't do that. They did adjourn for the day, but not everyone left. Trust me, we had the lights on late at the Executive Tower. We were bringing up leaders and influencers and decision makers, having small group meetings, building a coalition, and today we were able to announce that we have a deal. So this is part of the process. It's not fun, it is work, but it was productive because it's resulting in this announcement today that we're going to be able to introduce this budget to give our teachers a 20% pay increase.
Okay, but in the public's eyes and in many people's eyes, they felt that they had turned their backs on them. You just tweeted, we are ready to work through the weekend to introduce a budget early next week and pass it shortly thereafter. So did you call a special session? Or, I mean, because if you're going to work through the weekend, what happened?
Well, I said we need to pass a budget. Now, there's a number of different options on how we can pass a budget. We came to a conclusion that we were on the same page. So you call a special session, that's a tool that you have in your tool belt as a governor. I wanted to work in partnership with legislative leadership. I don't see this as a partisan issue. I'm hopeful that we'll have both Republicans and Democrats on this budget. I don't know why anyone wouldn't vote for this teacher pay increase. That's my style, and let's now get it passed.
Governor, how much did this march yesterday, 75,000 people right outside of the state capitol, how much do you think that influenced the legislature into saying yes to your budget?
I think these marches were impressive. You couldn't help but be impressed. We rolled this idea out on April 12th, but for us to be able to say we have this deal and we need to get it now, there's no doubt that this was a real factor in getting everyone to see what I saw not so long ago.
I want to ask you on a side note, because again, this is a deal that you struck, and it still has to be officially passed.
Yes.
So technically, it's still not a completely official done deal. So there is a possibility, if the teachers are not satisfied with this, if the union is not satisfied with this, that they could potentially still go on walkout on Monday. So today, the Goldwater Institute, they warned that Arizona public school superintendents that they could face lawsuits if they don't open the doors to students and resume teaching immediately.
Trim, this is a question for the Goldwater Institute.
But I want to get your reaction to that. If they will be willing to slap a lawsuit on these superintendents.
My reaction is when we can avoid a lawsuit, let's avoid a lawsuit and bring a solution. This budget is a solution to what teachers have been asking for, what's needed inside our schools, and what our students need as well, this investment in the kids inside the classroom. Let's take the pressure off the parents that are working and don't have daycare or can't bring their child to work every day. Leaders bring solutions. This is a solution.
All right, Governor, I hope this is the start of something big. We said yesterday you have a chance to do something special, 20 by 20. You have the votes for it now. Hopefully it gets done over the weekend, and on Monday,
there will be no walkout.
The Joe Thomases of the world will accept this.
This is for the teachers. The message here is for the teachers. We heard you.
Is there a plan B?
We value you. We're going to pass this budget. Okay, we're going to put a 20% pay increase to our teachers by 2020. That's the messages that we value you. Let's finish up the school year. Let's move forward.
Okay, we appreciate your time.
All right, thanks very much.
Governor, thank you for coming in today. It's great. Do we have Bram ready?